about your feedback. Overall, it was a good attempt. I would say that Dr. Saad, you need to work a little bit on building your rapport with the patient and your communication skills. You know the right things to say. Just you need a little bit of what we can say, a little bit of polishing, right? So right from the start, when we are introducing ourselves to the patient and we are confirming the identity, if we are talking to a relative, then we also need to confirm the identity of the patient, right? So can you please confirm the full name of your father, and also can you please confirm his age or date of birth, right? So that was missing. And then I opened up my consultation by saying, doctor, why you have shifted my father to another ward, and you didn't acknowledge my concern. I mean, you acknowledged, but you didn't reflect back on it, right? So you just said, okay, I would like to ask you a few questions. So the son is worried, so you can say, I can see that you are really worried about the ongoing health situation of your father, but please do not worry, I'm here to answer all your concerns. But before that, I need to ask few questions so that I can understand your father's health condition in a more better way. So in this way, you can improve how you are building your rapport with the patient, how you are doing the communication with the relative. Are you with me, Dr. Saad?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. And then you can come from past to present, as we always say. First, ask the relative, can you give me a quick recap of why your father was admitted to the hospital? So, yeah, he was having pneumonia. What were the symptoms you were having, and how was he feeling? Okay. So, what do you know about the current health situation of your father? Like we wanted to ask, like, what does he know about his current father situation? He developed diarrhea 2 days ago. Now you have done your data gathering. Now comes the counseling part, right? So in the counseling part, all of my concerns were addressed properly, but the thing was that, Dr. Saad, sometimes we both were interrupting. I was interrupting you, or you were interrupting me. So the pauses were not adequate. You need to pause, you need to give the relative or your simulator time to ask you questions, right? You cannot just bombard with all the information. Like, I just asked you one question, one of my concern, and you start explaining about the management. So whatever patient is asking, you just address the concern, then pause, and then you can proceed with your consultation, right? So one of my concern was about the antibiotic. I think that you got a little bit confused there, or it came like that. So I was saying, this antibiotic gave my father the side effect, and now you are giving him another antibiotic. So at first instance, you addressed it properly, but say it more like this, I can understand what you are thinking right now, and that is a very valid concern. But this antibiotic is very important to eradicate this bug from your father's bowel. That's why we need to give this antibiotic to him for 10 to 14 days. But if he's still insisting, he's saying, no, please don't give this antibiotic, it will give some other side effect, then you can tell him what can happen if we don't give him the antibiotic, right? It can, if we if we leave this condition untreated, then it can lead to a lot of other complications. Like, it can cause a hole in the bowel, and it can lead to the blood poisoning, and it can be very fatal for your father's health. So one way of doing that is, first use this candy approach. Why we are giving this? Because we want to eradicate this bug. It's very essential. But if he's not still agreeing with you, then you can show the stick to him. Like, what worse can happen with your father? Okay, are you with me?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. And Dr. Saad, I asked you, like, my son is missing his grandfather a lot. So you can ask me, like, how old is your son? Because children under 12 years, they shouldn't be, visiting this patient. So you can just console him, show some ideas here. Like, I know that he must be missing his grandfather a lot. It must be difficult for him to stay apart from his, but it is for his own good health that he should not visit him for at least some days, because this condition is highly infectious and it can be transmitted to him, and it is not good for his own health. What do you think about that? And if he says, and no, okay, doctor, that's fine, I want to visit. So yeah, you can visit, but you need to take strict SOPs, strict precautions. You need to be wearing the protective equipments, and you should be washing your hands before going and after. Like, you will be telling about all the general measures, but tell him like it is best to avoid to take children to the this infectious ward. And then I asked you, like, doctor, is it COVID? So you know that it is not COVID because you have the blood reports with you, so you can use that as you use that postcode. Your concern is quite valid in this ongoing pandemic. And we always think about COVID, but the good news is that we have done some test on your father's sample, and we found that the bug that caused it. So we are pretty sure that this is because of that bug, and the likelihood of having COVID is very low, right?
Yes, doctor.
And I think the rest of the things, what you just need to be connecting with your patient more, to build your rapport with your patient, acknowledging his emotions, and just reflecting on back on it once. Just like I said, you look upsetting to me because your father has been admitted to another ward, and I can totally understand what you feel, and I'm here to make you feel better. But then you do your own thing if you need to do data gathering or if you need to answer his question. But before that, just connect with him. This was the only thing that I found. And in data gathering, always come from past to present. First, take a quick recap, then the present symptoms, right? And if any relevant data gathering, if you need to do, like in this case, there was not much to do. But it applies to all other stations as well, where patient is coming for follow-up or for if this is another counseling station, right? So pauses is also very important. Please give adequate pauses so that this is a patient-centered consultation, not a doctor-centered, right? So give them enough chance that they ask you questions, they ask you concerns. Overall, it was a good attempt.
Can
Okay,
I add
guys.
something?
Yes, sure.
I want to add about ending. So, Dr. Saad, how you ended your station? It's okay if you are ending before time. It's okay, but there should be a proper way. It shouldn't look like that you have missed something. Are you there?
Yes, Tommy.
Okay, so say thank you properly in a confident way, and also like if patient is sharing you feedback to you, then you can say thank you so much for sharing your feedback, and I will try my best to whatever the concern was. If patient was angry, he was sharing your feedback. Thank you so much for sharing your feedback to us, and we highly appreciate your feedback. And if you need anything else, if you are concerned about anything else, I will be around. You can talk to us again. Okay, and it in a proper way. Okay, if you have time, it's okay. Just sit there and say thank you, and then keep smiling. That's it. Okay, I think that's the end of today's meeting.